Okay, guys, let us start our today's topic. We are discussing genetic disorders. We have completed Mendelian disorders, Mendelian sex-linked disorders, Mendelian autosomal disorders. Then we were discussing chromosomal disorders, in which we first discussed autosomal chromosomal disorders. Now, today we are going to discuss sex chromosomal disorders. The first sex chromosomal disorder, which we are going to discuss today, is Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome. This Turner syndrome, it was first reported and described by Henry Turner. Henry Turner in 1938. That is why it is known as Turner syndrome. So this syndrome was first reported and described by Henry Turner in 1938. That is why it is known as Turner syndrome. So this Turner syndrome, it is characterized by a karyotype. If we make the karyotype of the chromosome, we will find that it has got a karyotype of 44 plus X0 is equal to 45. So the suffering individuals, they have got a normal number of autosomes 44. Then there is only one sex chromosome X and another is missing. So this condition is known as 44 plus X0. The total chromosome number is 45. So because of lack of another sex chromosome, so these individuals are always females. They have got only one sex chromosome X. So because of lack of the another chromosome, whether it would have been X or Y, so they are always females. So Turner syndrome patients are always females, or we can say Turner syndrome is a disease of female, right? And it has got a karyotype of 44 plus X0 is equal to 45, right? So why do they have one sex chromosome only? Why another sex chromosome is missing? So this condition may arise because of meiotic non-disjunction. Meiotic non-disjunction. This is a case of meiotic non-disjunction. At the time of meiosis, the diploid set of chromosomes separates from each other and is initiated into daughter cells, and those daughter cells, they become haploid. So at the time of meiosis, the chromosome number is reduced to half. That means diploid number is reduced to haploid number. So at that time, 23 pairs of chromosomes, they separate from each other. Synaptonemal complexes, which hold the homologous chromosomes together, they break and the homologous chromosomes separate from each other. But sometimes this doesn't happen. A particular pair of chromosomes doesn't separate from each other, and it may go into one daughter cell as together, right? So this condition gives rise to this chromosomal abnormality, right? So in this case, this condition may arise because of fusion of a normal egg having sex chromosome X and 22 autosomes with an abnormal sperm. Here the sperm may be abnormal without any sex chromosome and having only 22 autosomes. So when this abnormal sperm fuses with this normal egg, the result is 22, 22, 44 autosomes plus X0, because this sperm is not having the sex chromosome, right? So it may be a result of fusion of a normal egg with an abnormal sperm, and this abnormal sperm, it is lacking the sex chromosome. Or sometimes the condition may arise like this: an abnormal egg without any sex chromosome, having only 22 autosomes, fuses with a normal gynosperm, which is with a normal gynosperm. So this sperm having the sex chromosome X is known as gynosperm. So this gynosperm and the abnormal egg, when they fuse together, it gives rise to the condition X0 and 44 autosomes, right? So this is all because of meiotic non-disjunction. At the time of formation of this sperm, the X and Y chromosomes should have separated. But here in the formation of this sperm, both the sex chromosomes, they have not separated from each other. And both of those sex chromosomes went into one sperm, leaving the other sperm without any sex chromosome, right? In this case, at the time of oogenesis, when the meiosis occurs, when the primary oocyte undergoes meiosis first or meiosis second, it gives rise to secondary oocyte. At that time, a polar body receives both the sex chromosomes, leaving this ovum without a sex chromosome, right? So when this in this condition, a gynosperm fuses with this abnormal egg, it gives rise to X0 condition. In this case, when a normal egg fuses with the abnormal sperm, it gives rise to uh, X0 condition, right? So these conditions they arise because of meiotic non-disjunction, right? So this absence of one sex chromosome in females, it creates a lot of problems. Absence of one sex chromosome in females creates a lot of problems for those females. What are the markers of the disease? What are the stigmata of this disease? So this disease is characterized by these females. They have got cubitus valgus. Cubitus valgus. These females they have got an angular forearm. Angular forearm. Their forearm is bent downwards at the elbow joint. It is bent like this. It is bent downwards at the elbow joint. So this condition is known as angular forearm, or we call it as cubitus valgus. They may suffer from aortic coarctation. Aortic coarctation. What is aortic coarctation? It means narrowing of aorta. They have got a narrow aorta. You know, aorta is the largest artery of our body. But in these females, this aorta, it is not broad, it is narrowed. So impairing the blood supply to different body parts, reducing the blood supply to different body parts, right? So they suffer from aortic coarctation. They also suffer from webbed neck. They also show webbed neck. These females, they are characterized by their webbed neck. This is the head, suppose. Suppose this is the head. Then it should have been followed by a neck. But these females, they have got a broad neck, having a second fold over their neck. So this second fold, which is present from neck to the shoulders, this is known as webbed neck. So they have got webbed neck. These females have got a webbed neck. So they have got cubitus valgus, aortic coarctation, webbed neck. They have got broad, shield-like, flat chest. So these females, they have got a broad, shield-like, flat chest. So anterior thoracic prominences, breasts, they are absent. They do not develop, right? So their chest becomes broad and flat, like a shield, right? In addition to this, these females, they show failure of puberty. These females show failure of puberty. Failure of puberty. So these females, they never reach to sexual maturity. These females do not reach to sexual maturity. So they suffer from amenorrhea. Amenorrhea. There is no onset of menstrual cycle, right? Their ovaries are almost devoid of devoid of germ cells. Their ovaries are almost without germ cells. They show infantile genital development. Genital development. Their genital organs, they do not become developed. They remain as in infancy, right? So they also show infantile genital development. So these females, they become sterile females. They become sterile females. So they suffer from infertility. So these are the markers of the disease which are associated with this Turner syndrome. So as I told you, this Turner syndrome, it only occurs in the females. It occurs because of lack of one sex chromosome. So these females, they have got 44 autosomes and only one X chromosome. So due to presence of this X chromosome only, they develop into females. So phenotypically, they are female. So they suffer from some problems. What are the markers of this disease? What are the uh, features of this disease? So these females who are suffering from Turner syndrome, they are characterized by cubitus valgus. They have got an angular forearm. Their forearm bends down, right? So my forearm is straight. Their forearm has a bent downwards like this, right? So this bend of angular forearm, this bend in forearm, which is very much prominent, it is known as cubitus valgus. They suffer from aortic coarctation. They have got a very narrow aorta, rendering causing problems in blood circulation. They have got a webbed neck. They have got a skin fold attached from the neck to the shoulder. This is known as a webbed neck. They have got a flat, broad, shield-like chest. Their anterior thoracic prominences, breasts, they are absent. They do not develop fully, right? So their chest remains flat. They show failure of puberty. These females, they never reach to sexual maturity. So when they do not reach to sexual maturity, so their menstrual cycle does not start. So they suffer from amenorrhea. Their ovaries are almost devoid of germ cells. Their ovaries doesn't have germ cells. Or if the germ cells are present, they are very less in number, right? So these females, they become infertile. So these females become sterile. And they also show infantile genital development. Their genital organs do not develop. Their genital organs, their external genitalia, they remain in infantile stage. So they are like infants, right? So these are the problems associated with this Turner's syndrome. And there is no cure, unfortunately, for this syndrome because this is a genetic disorder. It is caused due to lack of one sex chromosome. So it cannot be treated, right? And these females are mentally retarded. They have some degree of mental retardation. They have some degree of mental retardation. So that is all about this this Turner's syndrome. So it is a problem which is found in the females due to lack of one sex chromosome X. Then after this, we will discuss another syndrome that is known as triple X syndrome. Triple X syndrome, or it is also known as trisomy X, or it is also known as trisomy X. So in this disorder, the karyotype of an affected individual is 44 plus XXX 47. So they are female. Previously, they were also called as super females. They were previously also known as super females. However, this term super female, it is an inappropriate term. Super female means a female which is having some extraordinary power. So that is not the case. So this is a misnomer. Super female is a misnomer. So its exact term is triple X syndrome or trisomy X. So these females, they are phenotypically normal females. Phenotypically, they are normal females. Normal females. It is impossible to diagnose these females by their phenotype. We cannot judge these females by their phenotype for being this triple X syndrome patient, right? Triple X syndrome persons. So these females are phenotypically quite normal. We cannot diagnose, we cannot judge them by their phenotype. They can be only identified by karyotyping. They can be only identified by karyotyping. And these females, they live a normal life. They don't face any problem. They have got some mild learning difficulties. They only suffer from some mild learning difficulties. Or they may sometimes suffer from mild menstrual irregularities. Menstrual irregularity. So these females are phenotypically quite normal. They cannot be identified by their phenotype. They can be only identified by karyotyping. When we look at these females, they are quite normal females. They can do anything as a normal female. They may, however, suffer some mild learning difficulty. They may experience difficulty in their learning. And sometimes they may also suffer from mild menstrual irregularity. Otherwise, they are quite normal, right? So the term, so the word super female, it is a misnomer. They are quite normal females. Neither they have any superpower, nor they are suffering from any disorder, right? However, they are only having one extra X chromosome. And this extra X chromosome, it is the result of meiotic non-disjunction. So that is about the triple X syndrome or trisomy X. Who discovered this trisomy X or triple X syndrome? It was first reported by Patricia Jacobs. Patricia Jacobs in 1959. So this triple X syndrome, it was first reported by Patricia A. Jacobs in 1959. And these are the females who are phenotypically quite normal, right? Then we have another disorder, another chromosomal anomaly that is known as Jacobs syndrome. Jacobs syndrome. It was previously known as super males. They were previously known as super males. But again, this term is a misnomer. Super male term is a misnomer. They are by no way super males. They are quite ordinary, normal males, right? So this Jacobs syndrome, it is characterized by a karyotype. It has got these persons, they have got a karyotype of 44 plus X, Y, Y, 47. So they have got a supernumerary Y chromosome. They have got a supernumerary Y chromosome. They have got an extra Y chromosome. How this condition arises? Again, due to meiotic non-disjunction. The chromosomes do not separate at the meiosis, or sometimes the chromosome duplicate during meiosis or after meiosis, right? So that may give rise to this karyotype of 44 plus XY condition. This condition was again reported by Patricia A. Jacobs. This was first time reported by Patricia A. Jacobs That is why it is also known as Jacobs. That is why we call it as Jacobs syndrome, because it was discovered by Patricia A. Jacobs in 1959. Right? So these are again normal males. They are phenotypically normal males. They are again very difficult to be identified by their phenotype. We cannot recognize these persons by their phenotype. They can be only identified by karyotyping, right? So these are normal males. However, they appear to be taller than expected height. They are slightly taller than the expected height. We expect the height of a person according to his parents, right? Or according to his family. So they seem to be slightly taller than the expected height, right? They may have muscle hypotonia. They may sometimes suffer from muscle hypotonia. Muscle hypotonia means low muscle, weak muscle tone. That means they may have some weak muscles sometimes, right? They may also show curved pinky finger. They may also show curved pinky finger. Pinky finger is the little finger of our hands. So they have this little finger curved. So this is the pinky finger. Pinky finger, or we call it as little finger. It is curved. So they may possess this curved pinky finger, right? Otherwise, they are normal males. They don't have any abnormality. They are slightly taller than the expected height. They may suffer from muscle hypotonia. Their muscles may have low tone. They may be slightly weaker. And they may show this curved pinky finger. So these are the only recognizable features in these Jacob syndrome patients. They are not patients, they are normal males. So in this Jacob syndrome, which were previously known as super males, so this super male is a misnomer. This is not an appropriate term. They don't have any extraordinary power. They are just normal males. They are recognized by their karyotype. When we subject them to karyotyping, we will find an extra Y chromosome in their body cells. So their total chromosome complement is 47. They are normal males. They cannot be recognized entirely by their phenotype. We cannot recognize them by this curved pinky finger, or we cannot recognize them by their tallness, or we cannot recognize them by muscle hypotonia. They can be only identified through karyotyping, right? So they are normal males. They don't have any problem, right? They may be slightly taller. Sometimes they may suffer from this. Some of the males they may suffer from muscle hypotonia, and some of these males they may show curved pinky finger. So that is all about Jacob syndrome, right? 44 plus XYY condition. It was reported by Patricia Jacobs for the first time. Now, after this, we are going to discuss another chromosomal disorder. That is Klinefelter syndrome. Klinefelter syndrome. This Klinefelter syndrome, it was first reported by Harry Klinefelter. in 1942. So that is why it is known as Klinefelter syndrome. It was first reported and described by Harry Klinefelter in 1942. That is why we call it as Klinefelter syndrome. This Klinefelter syndrome, the persons who suffer from Klinefelter syndrome, they have got a karyotype of 44 plus XXY is equal to 47. So they have got a supernumerary X chromosome. They have got an extra X chromosome. And this extra X chromosome, it comes due to meiotic non-disjunct. Again, there may be an O which has got two X chromosomes and 22 autosomes. If this ovum fuses with a sperm, gynosperm, with if this fuses with the sperm, gynosperm, androsperm, sorry, with 22 autosomes and Y chromosome, if this abnormal ovum fuses with the normal gynosperm, androsperm, with Y chromosome and 22 autosome, it will give rise to XXY44, right? Or it may arise due to a normal sex chromosome or normal ovum with sex chromosome X and 22 autosomes, and a sperm which is abnormal, having both the sex chromosomes XY and 22 autosomes. If they fuse together, they will form a zygote with XXY and 44 autosomes. So these Klinefelter syndrome patients, they again are formed due to meiotic non-disjunction. In this case, the ovum is abnormal. Ovum is abnormal. The sperm is normal. In this case, the ovum is normal and sperm is abnormal, right? So either the ovum may be abnormal and the sperm may be normal, or the ovum may be normal and the sperm may be abnormal. So they can give rise to the karyotype of 44 plus XXY, known as Klinefelter syndrome, right? Okay. Now, what are the problems caused due to this extra X chromosome? This extra X chromosome, it creates some problems in these males. So these Klinefelter syndrome patients, they are phenotypic males. They are phenotypic males. Why they are phenotypic males? It is because of the Y chromosome. So Y chromosome, which has got some over 200 genes on it, has a gene SRY, sex determining region, which codes for testis development factor, that leads to the formation of testes, and that turns an embryo into male. So they have got a Y chromosome. So that turns into a male, phenotypic male, right? But these males, they are not normal. They suffer from some disorder. So these males, they are again taller. They suffer from muscle hypotonia. They suffer from muscle hypotonia. Hypotonia, they have weak muscles. They suffer from gynecomastia. Gynecomastia. They have got enlarged mammary glands. Mammary glands, like females. Like females. So they are phenotypic males, but they are taller. They are lean. They are thin. They have muscle hypotonia. Their body muscles are weak, and they develop gynecomastia, enlarged mammary glands like females. They are also they also show female type body hair distribution. Female type body hair distribution. Body hair distribution. You know, females don't develop beard. Females do not develop mustaches normally, right? So in these males, the mustaches are absent. Mustaches are absent. Beard is absent, right? The males have hair on the body, the body hair is absent, right? So they have got hair like females. So we call it they have got female type body hair distribution, right? They have got atrophied testes. Atrophied testes. They develop testes, but those testes they are not fully developed. They remain in shrunken state. The testes are in shrunken state. Shrunken state. The testes remain shrunken, right? They shrunk in size, right? Then in the testes there is dysgenesis of seminiferous tubules. In the testes there is dysgenesis of seminiferous tubules. Dysgenesis of seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules they get atrophied. Seminiferous tubules they degenerate, right? So they suffer from azoospermia. They don't produce sperms in their semen. They suffer from azoospermia. They don't produce sperms in semen. So they become infertile. These males become infertile. They are infertile males. And they also suffer from some degree of mental retardation. Mental retardation. They also suffer from some degree of mental retardation. So this is all because of extra X chromosome, right? So they have got a Y chromosome. So Y chromosome initially brings its effect in and it leads the embryo to develop into a male. So they are phenotypically male, they are phenotypic males. But as they continue their development, then extra X chromosome starts producing its effects, right? It causes some feminization. So these males, they become taller, they suffer from muscle hypotonia, their muscles become weak like the muscles of the females. They show gynecomastia, their mammary glands, they are stimulated for development, they enlarge in size, and they develop breasts like the female. They show female type body hair distribution. Males are characterized by secondary sex characters. The secondary sex characters of males that includes mustaches, beard, male type voice, right? They don't have these secondary sex characters. They don't develop these secondary sex characters. Instead, they develop female type body hair distribution. So they do not develop mustaches, they do not develop beard, they do not develop hair on the body, right? Their testes become atrophied. Their testes remain in shrunken state. Testes do not develop fully. Seminiferous tubules may be present in the testes, but those seminiferous tubules also they degenerate. They degenerate. When the seminiferous tubules degenerate, then spermatogenesis is not carried out. So they suffer from azoospermia. When sperms are not produced, these males become infertile. They become infertile. And they also suffer from some degree of mental retardation. Right? So this Klinefelter syndrome it is a problem of the problem in males. And this problem in males is created by an extra X chromosome. So they have got a supernumerary X chromosome, making the total chromosome complement to 47. Right? They have got normal 44 autosomes plus XXY condition. And there is unfortunately no cure for these chromosomal disorders, right? So that is all about the sex chromosomal disorders. So I think this is sufficient for today. Now, after this, we are going to discuss about genome and human genome project. Inshallah, we will discuss that in next lecture. Thank you.